We have been working on our skill of sustained silent reading. This is a great skill to have, and you will use it your whole life, okay? I like how we've been working on it together, where you read for a certain number of minutes and then you keep a reading journal to keep track of what you're reading. You know, some of you are reading chapter books, so you come back to it each day. If you've done a small journal entry, it helps you remember what you're reading and keep track of the story. If you're reading a new book each day, it still helps you with your comprehension to really take in the information that you're reading. And I hope that it becomes a habit, something that you enjoy doing. And, you know, all summer long, I hope you spend time every day reading, okay? I want you today to do your sustained silent reading, and then I'd like you to make a journal entry that you've turned into me. I want you to write down the number of minutes that you read, the title of your book, and then 2 to 3 sentences about what you read. And I would like you to know, you could also draw a picture. I think that really helps a lot of us really take in what we read or remember what we read. If you draw just a simple picture of maybe your favorite moment or maybe the main character. I love looking at the reading journals, and some of you include pictures. I think that's great. So especially if that is going to help you understand, or maybe it's just a fun, almost like a treat once you've finished your minutes and written your sentences, and then you can draw a picture. So today I would like you to do your sustained silent reading and make a reading journal entry. When it's complete, you can turn it in to me. In science, we've been learning about the body systems. It's been very interesting to learn all about how our bodies were made by God and the different systems that have parts to play and things to do in our body and how it all works together. I think it's been really interesting. I've heard from a lot of you that you've enjoyed learning about it too. Today, we're going to read in our textbook, page 186 to 187, that's all about the digestive system, all right? Get out your book and read with me, all right? Digestive system. I like it when we're reading together, if you are paying attention to where you find the words in bold, you can know that's an important vocabulary or an important concept of what we're learning, okay? The digestive system. Open your book and read with me while I read to you. Your meals are some of the most important times in your day. The food you eat provides the nutrients your body needs to live and grow. Remember, your blood carries nutrients, but it cannot carry whole bites of meat or vegetables. The foods you eat must be broken down. That is the job of your digestive system. The parts of your digestive system work together. They break down food so your body can use it. Okay, and then there's a picture. It's like lets you see what your digestive system looks like inside your body. And now you could, if you wanted to, you could number this. This is in order where the food goes when you eat it. It goes 1 to your mouth, 2 to your stomach, 3 to your small intestine, 4 to your large intestine. That's the order that the food goes as it goes into your body and is broken down for nutrients. Your food starts to digest or break down in your mouth first. Your teeth chew and break up the food. Saliva is the liquid in your mouth. The saliva softens and starts to digest the food. When you swallow, your food travels down a tube to your stomach. Your stomach, underline this, your stomach is a bag made of muscle. The muscles work to squeeze and mix the food with digestive juices. The juices help break down the food even more. Your food is a thick liquid when it leaves the stomach. The liquid then moves to your small intestine. Your small intestine is a very long tube with thin walls. By now, the nutrients are small enough to pass through the walls. They move into nearby blood vessels. There, the blood carries the nutrients to feed other parts of the body. Not all the food you eat is used by your body. The food that cannot be used moves on to the large intestine, and after a while, the body gets rid of the unused food. So one of the questions right here is, what is another word for breaking down food? They've called it 2 things in this thing. They've said breaking down, or they've said digest. Digest is another word for breaking down food. And you can tell the digestive system. This is a system of your body for breaking down food into nutrients for your body to be able to use. Okay, so it's really interesting how they all work together. I like how they always have a model for you to look at to imagine what is actually going on inside of your body. After we have read that together, I want you to do your chapter summary. It's in your workbook on page 169. It also goes on to page 170. I want you to do numbers 1 through 12, okay? Now, all of this you will want to use your science book for, okay? Because it's finding definitions, and you can use your glossary or you can find it in the chapter about the body systems, all right? So I'd like you to carefully work on your chapter summary. This is going to prepare you well for your final science test that's coming up this week, okay? So we read this part together about the digestive system, and I'm going to want you to do your chapter summary, numbers 1 through 12. This will review parts of all the systems that we've learned about so far. So you're going to want to have your science book out with you while you're working on it. In math, we're going to start introducing concepts of geometry. So that has to do with shapes. How many sides, how many corners, things like that. The very first thing you're going to do on this worksheet, 263 to 264, is draw some shapes. And you'll notice they're calling it plane shapes, and that means shapes that are just flat that we're looking at, because in another lesson we'll be looking at shapes that are 3D, that would have more sides that you could see in 3D, and these shapes that we're going to be drawing today are just flat, a shape that would be on a piece of paper. All right, let's draw some of these together. I bet these are things that you know or you've heard before, and maybe you just need to be reminded, or some of the shapes, maybe some of the shape names are going to be new. But this sort of is just building on a few things you already know, giving you information into new stuff that you'll use probably more in 3rd grade when you do more geometry, but this is a good introduction for you. All right? The first one asks you to draw the shape. Draw a dot on each corner and write the name of the shape. Okay, so the first one asks you to make a shape with 3 sides. And they've put little dots there to guide your lines, to guide how you draw. So I'm going to draw a shape with 3 sides. Now you notice it also has 3 corners. Okay? And the name of that shape is triangle. We see this tri right here means 3, and we have 3 sides and 3 corners. Okay, let's do number 2. It asks for a shape with 6 sides. All right, this is a less common shape, but we're going to carefully draw, and the little dots can help guide your lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll make sure we have a dot on each of those corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sides, 6 corners. The name of this shape is hexagon. Okay? That right there at the beginning, hex, that means 6. A 6-sided shape is named hexagon. Right? So triangle, I know you knew. Hexagon, maybe not as common, but I bet once you see it, you feel more familiar with it. Now number 3, 0 sides. 0 sides and 0 corners, right? What will we draw here? A circle. A circle. Circle is a unique shape, isn't it? Number 4 says 4 sides all the same length. So you use those dots to help you make them equal. And you have a square, right? We can do dots on our corners. We have a square. And it tells you 4 sides all the same length because there's other shapes with 4 sides, right? But when they're all the same length, you make a square. Okay, so you're going to continue doing that, following the instructions and drawing each one. Let's just keep drawing them together, okay? We have, the next one says 5 sides. So we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can draw make the circles at the points or at the corners, and then we can write the name pentagon. Penta means 5. Pentagon. It's the last one. 2 long sides and 2 shorter sides. So this is again a 4-sided, but they're not all the same side. They're not all the same length. Long, short, long, short. We can draw these. Here's our corners. And what is that? That's a rectangle. All right, so when you draw these, when you watch me draw them and then when you draw them yourself, you're going to notice some of these they feel very familiar. Maybe some of them are unfamiliar. But thinking about it this way with these names and thinking about what they mean in relation to how many sides, how many corners, which sides are equal, that's important information. It's a good review for you to look at these shapes. These are flat shapes, like the kind of shapes you would just draw on a piece of paper. This is good information for you to have. Now, going on your worksheet, they're going to give you a bunch of examples of shapes, and they're going to ask you which ones belong, okay? All sides are the same length, or exactly 4 sides, and you're going to look for the shapes in that grouping that belong there, that are described by that. And then you get to do more drawing, using the dots, using the information they give you to draw the shapes, all right? If you have any questions about this, please circle the ones you're not sure about and send it to me so I can help you out. On the back, you'll have a little option or a little opportunity to review your multiplication. It's good to keep your multiplication brain strong. I think you're going to enjoy this introduction to geometry. We get to do that for the next several days, and I look forward to seeing your work on this. All right, for English, we've been learning about sentences and the parts of the sentence, the subjects and the predicate. The subject is who or what the sentence is about, and the predicate is what the sentence or what the subject is or what the subject does. Okay, so today we'll talk about how you can combine subjects. If you can have 2 sentences with the same predicate, you could just put the subjects together. For instance, we could say, Emmanuel M. cheered for Sonic. Josiah cheered for Sonic. They both work as a sentence. Different subjects, but same predicate. We can combine them with and we can have them combined as one subject. Emmanuel M. and Josiah cheered for Sonic. Okay, this is your subject, this is your action verb, and that whole thing is your predicate. Okay, subject, predicate. We have Maddie Wilson collected LOL dolls. Juliana collected LOL dolls. We can combine them. We can combine them with and. Maddie W. and Juliana collected LOL dolls. Do you see how this works? Here are the subjects. Here is the predicate. And we just combined our subjects with the word and. You can find the action verb, can't you? Predicates always have an action verb or a linking verb as one of their main parts because a predicate tells about the subject, what it does or what it is. Okay? How about this? Selah read Dogman books. Joy read Dogman books. We can combine them, right? We'll combine it with and. Selah and Joy read Dogman books. Okay? Here's another one. Daniel. Oh, this one we'd have to change it a little bit, but Daniel loves his baby sibling. Micah loves her baby sibling. Well, we can combine them. Daniel and Micah love their baby siblings, right? Here's the subject. Here's the action verb. This is the predicate, all right? So in your worksheet today, you'll be doing that. Let me write down your worksheet. Page 287, 288. You'll be looking at sentences that combine to make a subject that has 2 parts using the word and. So you'll get to do that. Either you're just going to divide them from subject and predicate and notice how they could be combined, or sometimes you'll get to combine them yourself, looking at two different sentences and then putting in the and. All right? I think you're going to do great with this. You'll understand it. We'll do a few more sentences tomorrow in our live class together to practice it some more to get you ready for it. So the worksheet is 287 and 288, doing sentence parts where we're combining subjects.